Talk to him.
Classic codes, I ain't taking it slow. Forgive me, Lord, I woke up in that mode. Whether the winters were left in the cold.
Y'all know what it is. Classic Code Sports. I got to come to the ring. Let's get this live show going, man.
Fighting out of the southpaw stance. Standing at 6'2", 190 pounds. I give you, boy, I'm made different. I work too hard. Ain't no way I ain't getting paid different. This from the dirt, this from the mud. You ain't slave with me. This was strictly for my homies that was brave with me. You can't come in with me now if you ain't came with me. Skull looking at you side eye if you ain't with real life. I seen a couple people try and it ain't in prison.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go. Hey, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah. Yo, it's Classic with the Classic Code Sports, man. We got a great live show today. Let's get into it, man. Let me show y'all that artwork. Yes, Lord, we talking about Game 4 with the Knicks and the Pacers. We talking about boxing this fight week, baby. Charlo back in the ring, Caleb Plant back in the ring this Saturday, and then we going to recap as well. We're going to recap the Thunder versus the Wolves game from last night. So let's get into it, man. Y'all know I ain't about wasting no time. Let's start off with it, man. So last night, we had the Thunder versus the Wolves, a tough game. Tough game. All my predictions on this game, as y'all can see in the sports episode that I released, the breakdown video, all my predictions on this game were not correct. No worries, I'm not a fortune teller. However, what was correct is that this game was close. It was competitive. It was well fought out. The parlay of the day did not hit. Anthony Edwards smoked us, man. All the other plays on the parlay hit. Rudy Gobert got one block. We had McDaniels for one steal. We had Shea going over on his points. He hit 30-something. And then we needed Ant to go over on his points, and he didn't. He didn't even have nothing but 2 shot attempts in the first quarter. So I knew the parlay of the day was going to be in trouble off the strength of that. So they got to figure out how to attack those coverages, and he needs to find a way to still be aggressive regardless of the way they plan them. But it's a part of his growth and maturation process. Game was well fought out, and the Thunder were able to win, taking a 3-1 lead in this series, ladies and gentlemen. So, you know, this situation is tough for the Timberwolves. Anybody who got the Timberwolves bouncing back from this, you know, they got a lot of faith in their team. And it's not because the Wolves can't come back from it. It's just because, you know, you have to give the Thunder credit. Being able to come back and beat a team like that 3 times in a row, 2 of them being on the road, it's just going to be tough, man. It's tough sledding. The game was a 2-point game. The Thunder ended up winning 128-126. The Wolves got to ice skate uphill. Anthony Edwards got the heart of a lion, so I'm sure that they're going to go into OKC for Game 5, and they're not planning on laying down. They're not planning on mailing it in. They're not planning on making it easy. So I think that they'll come back fighting. This series might go 6. And you know what? Hell, it still could go 7. I'm not ruling anything out, but I'll give my take and my breakdown on Game 5 as we get closer. Y'all know I like to drop the takes the day of, everything fresh. As y'all can see, we live, and we're going to talk about the Knicks Pacers today right here. So, yeah, man, I think that the Timberwolves and the OKC series has been very enjoyable. The blowouts, not so much, but just seeing the skill level and the talent of the young and up-and-coming players that both teams consist of, it's been enjoyable in that regard. So hopefully Game 5 is just as close as Game 4 was, regardless of how it go, so we can say that we enjoyed this, right? The 40-point wins, not so much. But seeing that skill level on display in a close competitive contest, I think that's why we all tune in, right? So yeah, man, that's my breakdown. That's my recap on it. You know, shout out to OKC and the MVP of the NBA, SGA, for going out there and handling business and getting one on the road, walking back to the crib with a 3-1 lead, feeling confident and ready for war. You know what I'm saying? Now we moving into the next basketball take. Man, tonight we got the Knicks versus the Pacers, Game 4. Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. Here go my breakdown. All right. So this game is in Indianapolis. It's in Indiana, right? It's in Indiana. The Knicks are on the road. They lost both at New York. Even in this series up, would effectively give them home court advantage back, and they would be heading back into New York with all the momentum in the world. So this game is pivotal for the New York Knicks. The Indiana Pacers need to be desperate as well. The Knicks being able to even things up, going back home, I think it smells trouble for them. Being able to giving up a game like game 3, it's one of two things. This team either has the mentality, this team being the Pacers, either has the mentality to brush that off, accept it as one loss, and come back and fight like dogs to win this home game tonight, or that loss could have been backbreaking for their spirit, and they might drop this game tonight. We're going to learn a lot about the mentality of the Indiana Pacers tonight. We really are. We're going to learn a lot about their mentality. We saw the Minnesota, beat the hell out of OKC, and OKC brushed it off, came back, and got a game 4 win in Minnesota. Can Indiana, being the home team, brush off that last loss, come back and handle business at the crib to go up 3-1, heading back to New York City? We got to see. Let me give y'all my breakdown. The Knicks had to pull out some heroics. They didn't get off to the greatest start last game, and they had to pull out some serious heroics from Karl-Anthony Towns. He had to get hot and stay hot for a while in order for them to close the lead, eventually take the lead, and overcome the Indiana Pacers. With that being said, that scares me a little bit because of how much of a Herculean effort was required in order for them to get this victory. Having to walk teams down from 20-point leads. I know they say in the NBA no lead is safe, but it's not ideal, right? Jalen Brunson's going to have to figure out a way to enhance his efficiency and get a third scorer off. If they can get a third scorer going, Cat do what he do, Jalen do what he do. If they can get a third scorer to perform tonight, they win this game and go back to New York 2-2. Be it Bridges, maybe Hart hits a few threes and, goes over his average. Maybe it's, I don't know who it could be. The unsung guy, right? But if they get a third person to be a serious contributor, they've got something. They've got something. They were supposed to beat the Pacers. They were favored to beat the Pacers. They got to come out and be the New York Knicks team that we thought were the ones that were favored to beat the Pacers. Halliburton playing with a hell of a chip on his shoulder. And if the Pacers can get out and run, they are a problem. But tonight, I think we see Jalen Brunson be who he's been more consistently than anybody on the Pacers has been who they've been, with the exception of Pascal Siakam. Siakam gave you a game. He not doing that again. Siakam not going for 40. He not. That's over with. Benedict Mathurin, their spark off the bench, his series has been like this. So the Pacers could be in trouble. I know having stolen and taken 2 games in New York, everybody's feelings started to change. But I've maintained that I feel like the Knicks can drag this series out and walk these boys down. I think tonight is going to tell us everything we need to know about the way the rest of this is going to go. I initially predicted Knicks in 6. The Knicks may have, like I said, if they broke the spirit of Indiana last game, they could win 4 straight. They could win 4 straight. It's happened in NBA playoff history. It has happened. Go down 0-2 and then win 4 straight. Just walk them down. So it remains to be seen. My prediction, though, I think the Knicks come out and they win another close game. Another close game, a hard-fought game. This series seems to be that type of work. I think that it's that type of work in this series. It's going to be a hard-fought, close basketball game, but I think that Jalen Brunson is going to be – he's the type of player that's cerebral, right? So I think he figures out something mentally. And I think that they use whatever that is, that piece that they figure out, and I think they use that to get over the hump. I think JB has a game. Let's go parlay of the day real quick. before we get off of the Knicks Pacers. So for this game, we're gonna go parlay of the day with this one. Knicks versus Pacers. We're gonna go Pascal. We're gonna go Miles Turner. Miles Turner for 2 threes. Y'all follow me. We're gonna go Miles Turner for 2 threes. All right. We're gonna go Jalen Brunson over on 25. If his over set somewhere around 30, think about it. If you can get him at 25, 26, depending on what app you on, JB 25 and up. Jalen Brunson. All right. Evan Turner 2 threes. Jalen Brunson 25 and up. Y'all play that how y'all want. And then for the third pick on this one, because it's tough, right? These teams are balanced. They play team basketball. So it's hard to tell who gonna do what and when, right? But if I was y'all, I'm going to go Karl Anthony Towns for 10 boards. Let's go Karl Anthony Towns for 10 boards. I think last game he had, 14, 15 boards? Let's put him down for 10 tonight. So we're going to go 10 boards, Karl Anthony Towns. We're going to go Jalen Brunson, 25 and up. And then we're going to take Miles Turner for 2 tray balls. That's going to be a 3 pick. It's going to put you where it's at. Depending on what app you on, you should have a boost. Throw that boost on there. Let's turn a 5 into 25, ladies and gentlemen. And like I said, I'm going to win or lose with you. We 1 for 2 on the parlay picks this week. We're going to go 2 and 1. I mean, we 1 and 1 on the parlay picks this week. We're going to go 2 and 1 tonight. So let's lock in and get that done. That's it for the Knicks versus Pacers breakdown, sports take, and parlay of the day. All right, and lastly, we're moving into the boxing breakdown. This weekend, we got some fights going on. Yes, Lord, I'll be in there early. Carmel Moten coming to the ring, fighting against God knows who. But I'll definitely be tuned in to watch him dominate whoever his opponent is. I know they're moving him along slowly, but they're keeping him super active, which is what I love. So I'll be tuned in to Carmel Moten. Shout out to Carmel Moten. I'm also going to be tapped in for the Kyron Davis fight. Kyron Davis making his return to the ring. I'm not sure how long Kyron's layoff has been, but it doesn't matter. I'm grateful to see him on a decent card where I can catch him on TV and watch him work. And I'm definitely going to be betting on him to win his fight. I don't know much about his opponent. I didn't look into his opponent. We're primarily here to talk about Plant and Charlo, but I'm not going to not mention those two on the undercard. So Carmel Moten is definitely a dope undercard for y'all to catch. And make sure y'all catch that Kyron Davis fight as well. He is definitely an entertaining, action-packed fighter who knows how to find and work his way to wins, and he's tough as nails. So I'm definitely excited about those undercards. Now moving into the main and the co-main event, Caleb Plant fighting against God knows who, right? And then Jamal Charlo fighting against God knows who. This fight is supposed to be a setup, ladies and gentlemen, which is why you see me have them pit together next to each other on the artwork, right? This fight is supposed to be a setup for things to come. You know, these two fights. Caleb Plant, I fully expect him to go dog walk, who shall remain nameless, as his opponent. I fully expect him to go dog walk him. I don't think the guy is a nobody. As a matter of fact, I'm not going to disrespect him, man. We're going to pull him up, and I'm going to say this guy's name because, you know, anybody that steps in the ring does deserve a certain level of respect. You know, it's an entertainment element to what we do, but I'm going to respect the guy. The guy's name is Jose Resendez, right? Jose Resendez is 15-2. Right, he's a 15-2 fighter. He's been knocked out 1 time, and his other loss was on the cards. Caleb should handle his business. I see Jarrett Hurd on Resendez's record. He beat Jarrett Hurd in the decision. It doesn't look like he won by KO. The fight was stopped. So he does have a Jarrett Hurd stoppage on his record. And that looks like that's going to be his claim to fame. Nobody else's name on his resume is really sticking out. This guy looks like a Hispanic fighter. I believe I saw that Hurd fight. Now that I'm looking at this guy's face on BoxRec, I believe I saw that Hurd fight. And the guy is tough. Does he have what it takes to beat a guy like Caleb Plant, who is slick, crafty, also sitting down on his punches and leveraging his shots better? at this point in his career, no. He probably go in there and get himself hurt. Will he get stopped? Who knows? I think it depends on his chin. If he's a durable guy, Caleb's been known to drop guys, and still guys will continue and, complete the fight, even though he drops them. And then I seen him, derail, knock guys cold the fuck out. So, it depends on the guy's chin whether or not he makes it all 12. But he is in for an ass whooping as far as I'm concerned. And Caleb Plant's going to handle his side of the deal. When it comes to Charlo, on the other hand, his fight, let's look up who Charlo is fighting, because again, I know nothing about these opponents. This is a setup. They're supposed to be setting this up to eventually fight each other. And so, these opponents, unfortunately for them, these guys are just in the way and they're just names. So why are they showing me Jermell when I'm looking for Jamal? Here we go. Jamal Charlo, 33-0 with 22 knockouts. He's fighting against Thomas Lamana. Thomas Lamana is 39-5-1 with 3 knockouts. Guy looks like he likes to come forward. He's been knocked out 3 times is what I'm saying. He has 18 KOs on his record, but he's been knocked out 3 times. Lamana seems like a guy that looks like he likes to come forward based on what I'm seeing here. But we'll see, man. I don't know much about the guy. Like I said, he's in the way. He's a placeholder, and this is a setup. This whole thing is set up to set up Charlo and Plant, and I hope that both guys handle their business. And not only do I want both guys to handle their business, I want them to look good doing it so that the fight that they have between them gets them the money that they deserve and the fight gets the hype that it deserves, because I do think that it is a great fight for both of them at this point in both of their careers. Caleb Plant has been significantly more active. Charlo, however, being the undefeated guy, unblemished record, and a guy who's always been respected, but some would say hasn't been tested. So that fight has a great storyline behind it. Obviously, the things that happen behind the scenes with Caleb slapping Charlo and all of that. Everything about it should make for some good business and some good boxing. And for that, I am with. I am present. I'm here for all of that. So we'll see how these fights pan out on Saturday. I'm going to give y'all a parlay pick for boxing closer to Saturday. So y'all make sure y'all tap in with the channel. I'll also give y'all more updates on the fights after the weigh-ins, after the final press conferences, and we'll see what's going on, man. Y'all make sure y'all stay in tune with me. So that's the boxing breakdown for the day. Plant and Charlo are set to return. Yes, Lord. But yeah, man, this is the Classic Code Sports live show. Make sure y'all tap in with us. We're going to be doing sports takes covering boxing, football, and basketball primarily, and jumping off into other sports when it makes the most sense and when it's primarily important. We're going to be covering the NBA, the WNBA, the NFL. We're going to be covering fantasy football, and we always going to be covering boxing. So y'all make sure y'all stay tuned. Make sure y'all hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, turn on y'all notifications. And if you don't do nothing else, do it for me. Stick to the codes, man. Stick to the codes. We got another classic, man. Damn.
Classic codes, I ain't taking it slow. Forgive me, Lord, I woke up in that mode. Weathered the winters when left in the cold.